Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. It's me, Just S. In today's special tutorial, we won't be talking about Ableton. We'll be talking about re-edits. Now you're probably asking yourself right now, what is a re-edit? Well, a re-edit is simply grabbing a song and restructuring it to the way you want it. Whether that being something as simple as grabbing the chorus and making it the intro, or the intro making it the outro, and the verse making it the chorus. It's whatever you want. That is also different from what an edit is. An edit is simply adding elements to the song that weren't originally there. And then what a bootleg is basically in terms of it's an unofficial remix compared to a remix that was officially licensed through the record label or publisher or producer and so forth. But like I said, in today's video, we'll be talking about re-edits specifically. And on the beginner level, I'll be showing you guys. Now you're probably asking yourself, why would you want to re-edit? As for a DJ, person like me as well, it's really good when I have my DJ sets, because if there's a certain structure I need the song to be, like if I need an intro of 64 beats, I can do that with doing a re-edit. But let's just say I don't want your typical intro with just the kick and snare or whatever you want in there. Say if I want to add the chorus as the intro when I'm mixing, then you can do that with re-edits. It's really kind of hard to do that live. I wouldn't say it's not impossible, but nowadays most DJs try to do different tricks while also mixing. So enough talking about that, let's get started. So I'll be using 3 songs as an example. I'll be using Animals from Garrix. I'll be using Titanium from David Guetta and Wake Me Up from Avicii. Now, when you open your DAW or whatever you're using specifically, whether it be File Studio, Ableton, or Logic, personally what I like to do is either you can search it on the web, the BPM of the song you're trying to do a re-edit for, or like me, sometimes I'm just in a hurry, I'll actually just open my tractor and then I will grab my songs. So we put Animals in there, and now I know the BPM, which is 128. Like I said, if you don't have a DJ software to tell you the BPM, you can just look it up from wherever site you bought it from. Beatport most of the time has the BPM it tells you, or you can just Google it. So now I know it's 128. I will simply set the tempo to 128. And the reason you want to do that is because when you put it and you try to match the kick with the line for your beat grid, you want it to be exact. I mean, so you know when whatever you're cutting, it's that proper 4 count or 16 count, whatever you're wanting to do. So I'm gonna drag it in, and it's loading right now. So as I say right now, actually I put my headphones on, forgot. So let's take a quick listen. So I hear that's the kick. All right, so I'm just simply going to beat grid and match. Okay, it's right there. Okay, and there we go. All right, so if you know from this extended mix from Animals, you can see that right here is this dark and light space. This is basically in 16 of in beats. So 16 beats for this verse, then another 16, another 16, another 16. So for this first half of the intro, it is a 64 beat intro. Now let's say, for instance, I didn't want that for my DJ set when I'm gonna mix this song. I want a just straight up 64 beat, because this right here is a 128 beat intro, and just say the specific mix I'm trying to do, I don't want that. So simply you can do 2 ways. You can grab the slice on File Studio or whatever program you're using and cut it, and then simply delete, drag it back. Now I have a 64 beat intro instead of a 128. That is as simple as that. That is technically a re-edit in its own way. Now let's say, for instance, you know what, hey, let's take a quick listen. I like that part, but I didn't like the first part of this. So simply you can do is just copy this, paste this out, cut it right here, And then now I'm going to move this first 32 beat intro and put the beginning half from that one. So now it's like this. And simply right there, that is a re-edit. That is as simple as gets. Now we can go even further. Let's say you can take it to where it actually hits a harder part of the song. You're like, hey, you know what? I like that, but I want the sub to hit with it. So let's now bring the sub in. And let's try to cut off that little clock part right there before it hits. So right there. So now I'm going to get the sub while it's going to hit into the synth part. So we're going to take a quick listen. And this is how it sounds now. See, it feels a lot better than the previous one I did where I just simply cut it like that. You don't get that, you don't get the sub part of it. So that's what I simply just took. I just put it back, the sub, but then put the copy of the song underneath. So now you hear both. All right, now let's say if you want to get a little bit more precise, you're like, hey, just as I don't want the sub to go that long. Well, you can simply, in File Studio, and you can do it in other ones, I would just clone it. And then I would grab the song, and then, of course, make sure you do beat match it again. And then let's grab that part again for that. And then now you do the automation of the volume. So I'm going to do it right there. Grab the volume, right click, create the automation clip, and now I'm going to copy that because that's the max volume. Paste it right there. And then now bring this down so the sub goes down in volume while it's playing throughout. A little bit smoother in my opinion, I'll admit, compared to... But that's all preference. So that's whether you want it to linger on and so forth. The restructure is your desired choice of whether you want. So say for instance you didn't want the part where it says animals. Say if you wanted instead. So what you could do is simply again cut the parts you want. If you're trying to be precise, you just hold Shift on your keyboard if you want like the for File Studios at least. All right. So now that it has that, I'm gonna take this off. Now I'm gonna add this, and you can even change it to where, hey, I want that to now to where it says animals. So now I have it like this. To now when it's over here. That is as simple as it gets for a re-edit. You just structure the way you want. All right, let's go on to the next example. So let's delete this, drag it. All right. Just gonna quickly get it to the beat. All right, so let's take a quick listen. So you can see in this one's actually a little bit unique. Now, when it comes to DJing, is kind of interesting. At least for me personally, I like to mix in 64-beat intros to vary here and there 128, just depending on the way I'm trying to do the song or the DJ set personally. But this one's actually kind of unique. This one is a 64-beat intro and then add an additional 32 beats with it as well. Now, hey, you know what? That may be your point. In, let's say you're mixing the song and you get to the part of fading out the other song right here, and then now you just hear boom, that, and you're like, oh, okay. But that's if you want that. Now, like I was saying, you know what? Hey, when you're listening, mixing it, this is a little, in my opinion, That then again is David Guetta when he did this extended mix. It's a little plain Jane for me. Now this is the original one. I know he has newer renditions of it, but let's say if you're working with the original one, that's a little plain Jane for me personally when I'm coming to do my DJ mixes. So either you can grab some part of the song and add elements to it to make it a little bit more spicy, or sometimes even the outro sounds a little better than the intro, and you can just grab that. So let's hear it. Not bad. Let's see. Okay. So let's grab that right there. I actually like that a lot. In my opinion, that sounds much better as the intro. So I'm going to put that right there. And I did like this part too of the song. So instead, all right, I think it's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's a little different. You hear a little bit more echo, but we'll just not use it. Okay, now I'm going to cut that off right there. And now, when you hear it, it'll be different. And then that's just one way. I mean, personally, it doesn't sound perfect to me. I would probably have to do some more tweaking with it, but that's one way of doing it to make it sound different. I mean, you can technically add this part to it if you want to. So that sounds a little bit more cleaner. Or you can even get it to almost to the degree, let me hear it. You can just grab that snare part and then have this, so it's like this. So now, let's say, hey, you know what? I don't want that. I want to use the original intro. Well, still, in my opinion, it sounds a little boring, but to spice it up, let's make a clone. And we'll just simply, instead, in my opinion, let's get this to match me. I want to hear the guitar part of the song. So let us grab this part and then add it in there. So when you're hearing the song, you're hearing it, when you're mixing it, in my personal opinion, you're hearing it come through. Like I said, of course, do your volume checks. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, now it feels a little better. And then, of course, it's going to hit it with this. So when I go do. And that is a perfectly good re-edit right there. Now let's say, you know what, hey, you're hearing that, I don't want it to play again. I want to go straight to the verse. Well, simply do that too. So we'll cut off that part, and then now when it hits, it bangs when you mix it out or just for your personal use, you hear the vocals with it automatically. Perfectly good. And that's it for Titanium. You know what? Instead, I'm actually working on a re-edit right now. I can show you from scratch, actually. It's the pump panel confusion. Most notably, most people refer to it as the Marvel's Blade song. So let's actually grab that one instead. Okay. Right here, 35. And then now, at least in here in File Studio, it's different in different DAWs. Right click, fit to BPM, and I'm gonna do it in the range of 75 to 150. And now it'll stretch the song properly to the best of its ability to make it us purely 135. Now that it's structured, let us get it exact. Boom, right there. Now, like I said, I'm working on this song right now. So let's take a quick listen. Cool, right? And this is a very long, there's really no intro. This song just goes straight in. I think it doesn't even get like a hi-hat until later on. But yeah, right there. So, for instance, let's say I'm doing a song with this, and for me personally, it's gonna be kind of, in my opinion, a little boring to not add some elements nowadays. So it's just a consistent, this is almost for a minute doing the same thing, and people get kind of bored. Depending if you're a DJ or whatever, or even you can get bored listening to the same beat for a minute. So what I do sometimes with these older songs, I restructure them. So you know what, hey, I want the hi-hat to be on the next 16 beats after the first 16th. So this is a perfect example right here. So I'm going to grab the part where it has the hi-hat. And let's just make sure. Like I said, you do have to always check because much older songs are sometimes a little off. So if I were to leave it the way it was, and when I print it out, it would just be the same. It'll be off. But I fixed them right here. So now we can take a listen real quick. So imagine it dropping. And then we got the hi-hat in. Instead of it being a total minute and so forth. So, okay, I like that. Now you can do next, if I recall, it's the song. It does more hi-hats. It goes, yeah, open hat, sorry. So I like that. I wanted to do that open hat. All right. So now I want the next 32 beats to be with the open hat part. All right. So let's get it timed correctly. After, then it goes boom. And then if I recall on this song, there's gonna be the clap part. So let's grab the clap. I think it's gonna come in. Yeah, see, I would have to listen to another 32 beats before the clap comes in. Now, like I said, personally, I like a 64 to be a certain way, and then the next 64 of the song to be a different way. So now that we just have this. And now the new 32 beats, the clap. All right, let's go. Like so. And that is a perfect way, or you can even make your own intro. Let's do this we'll do a normal 32 beat intro just for this example. Yeah, let's do a 64. Might as well. 64. And then I know in the song, it has a part where it's just the synth. Right there. Okay, right there. So, grab that part. Like I said, let's always make sure you gotta be careful with these older songs that you're right on BPM, or they're on the right beat grid, sorry. So I can tell it's like slightly a little off. Nothing wrong with that, but for me, sometimes I like it to be precise. I'm putting in the effort, might as well get as precise as I can. All right, like I said, let's do that. Boom, right there. Now you have created your own full-on original re-edit. So that's your imagine that your intro for as a DJ, and then now you mix it in and do, and of course, and now. It's something as simple as that, and then now. And there you go, those are re-edits. Now, like I said, this is on the beginner level. I'll be coming back with advanced and then a pro level. I'll do some really interesting re-edits, especially ones I've done in my DJ sets. So thank you for listening. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It's me, Just S, and I'll catch you guys on the beat. Bye.